Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that might surprise you: the carbon footprint of different diets. We often think about our diets in terms of health, but have you ever considered the environmental impact of what you eat? Let's dive in. The standard Western diet. Let's start with the most common diet in many developed countries. The standard Western diet is notorious for its high carbon footprint, with each meal emitting approximately 3.3 kilograms of CO2 equivalents. This diet typically consists of large portions of red meat, processed foods, and sugary beverages. The intensive agriculture required to produce these foods, along with the transportation and packaging involved, contribute significantly to its environmental impact. Studies show that this diet is responsible for 4.7 metric tons of CO2 emissions per person annually. That's equivalent to driving a car for over 12,000 miles. Meat-heavy diets. Meat production is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. Diets heavy in meat, such as the paleo or carnivore diets, have a staggering carbon footprint. The livestock industry is a significant source of methane, a potent greenhouse gas emitted during the digestive processes of cattle and other ruminants. Additionally, land clearing for grazing and feed crop production further exacerbate the environmental impact. For every kilogram of beef produced, about 27 kilograms of CO2 are emitted. This means that a single hamburger patty can have a larger carbon footprint than driving a car for 10 miles. Dairy-intensive diets. Dairy products also have a significant environmental impact. Consuming a lot of dairy, like in the vegetarian or lacto-vegetarian diets, contributes to carbon emissions. Dairy cows produce methane through digestion similar to livestock, and dairy farming requires extensive land use and water consumption. Additionally, the processing and transportation of dairy products further add to their carbon footprint. Producing 1 liter of milk emits approximately 1.9 kilograms of CO2. That's equivalent to driving a car for almost 5 miles per glass of milk consumed. High processed foods diets. Processed foods often come with a hidden carbon cost. Diets high in processed foods, such as the standard American diet, require intensive resources for manufacturing and transportation. The production of processed foods involves energy-intensive processes, including refining, packaging, and transportation, all of which contribute to their high carbon footprint. Each kilogram of processed food can generate up to 5 kilograms of CO2 emissions. That's like driving a car for 13 miles for every kilogram of processed food consumed. The Mediterranean diet. Now, let's explore a diet often hailed for its health benefits. The Mediterranean diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and olive oil, has a relatively lower carbon footprint compared to other diets. This diet emphasizes locally sourced and seasonal ingredients, reducing the need for extensive transportation and refrigeration. Additionally, the Mediterranean diet includes fewer animal products, further reducing its environmental impact. Studies estimate that following the Mediterranean diet reduces carbon emissions by about 1.5 metric tons per person annually. That's like taking a car off the road for almost 4 months. Vegetarian and vegan diets. Plant-based diets are gaining popularity for their environmental benefits. Vegetarian and vegan diets have significantly lower carbon footprints compared to diets that include animal products. By eliminating or reducing meat and dairy consumption, individuals can drastically reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. Plant-based diets also tend to require less land and water, making them more sustainable overall. A vegan diet produces approximately half the carbon emissions of an omnivorous diet. By switching to a plant-based diet, an individual can reduce their carbon footprint by over 1 ton per year. Locally sourced and seasonal diets. Where your food comes from matters. Choosing locally sourced and seasonal foods can greatly reduce your carbon footprint. By purchasing food from nearby farms, you minimize the emissions associated with long-distance transportation. Seasonal foods also require fewer resources for cultivation and preservation, further lowering their environmental impact. Transportation accounts for about 11% of food-related emissions, so buying local can make a big difference. By sourcing just 20% of your food locally, you could reduce your carbon footprint by up to 1.5 tons per year. Plant-based protein alternatives. Exploring alternative protein sources is key to reducing emissions. Replacing meat with plant-based protein alternatives like tofu, lentils, and beans can significantly lower your carbon footprint. Plant-based proteins require fewer resources to produce compared to animal products, resulting in lower greenhouse gas emissions. Additionally, plant-based protein sources often have health benefits, making them a win-win for both you and the planet. Producing tofu emits approximately 2 kilograms of CO2 per kilogram, compared to beef's 27 kilograms. By incorporating more plant-based proteins into your diet, you can reduce your carbon footprint by up to 75%. Sustainable eating habits. Ultimately, adopting sustainable eating habits is crucial for mitigating climate change. Reducing food waste, choosing environmentally friendly products, and advocating for sustainable agriculture are all steps we can take to make a positive impact. By being mindful of our food choices and their environmental consequences, we can work towards a more sustainable future for generations to come. It's estimated that adopting a sustainable diet could reduce global greenhouse gas emissions by up to 70%. Every small change we make in our eating habits can have a big impact on the health of our planet. Thanks for joining us as we explored the carbon footprint of different diets. Remember, every food choice we make has an environmental consequence. Let's strive to make choices that nourish both our bodies and our planet. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on sustainable living. Until next time, take care and eat consciously.